Let's talk about getting paid as a founder. What is a normal salary to take as a founder, and how should it grow as you build your business and raise more money? When you start a company, you should be aware of what your financial situation is and what you can afford. It's not uncommon not to take a salary when you're getting started, but it's also not uncommon to take a minimal salary when you're getting started. It just depends on how much money you want to raise and what your financial needs are at the moment. Your needs then determine whether you should raise any angel money and how much you should be raising. Obviously, you should be raising more money if you need to take a salary and if you need to pay other people. Good investors don't really want to take on financial stress as you're building a company. There is enough stress as it is. So, most of the investors will be super supportive of you taking a minimum salary that is required to make your ends meet. For us, when we got started, we had enough years of corporate experience. We did not need to take a salary immediately. So, both co founders, we actually started with no pay. And then we decided to hold off until we raised institutional capital or our Series A. So, we actually went 4 years with no pay in the beginning because that's how long it took before one of our experiments worked out. And then we ended up raising a Series A. I still believe that was not a mistake, and we're doing it again. Right now, we're operating with a small amount of angel money, and we are not taking a salary in our second venture. But the mistake we made was when we did raise our Series A, not putting in place a proper structure for what our starting point of the salary would be and how it would grow as we meet certain milestones. First of all, when the Series A investors asked us how much we want to take as a salary, we quoted a really small number. So we only got like 30% of our normal industry pay or whatnot. And what we were thinking was we were still looking at it as this is our company. We want to like utilize as much of the funding as possible towards the growth of the company and not towards our salaries. So we had the best of the company in mind as we put all this in place. But the reality is that sent a message to these investors that we're not looking to make, a market salary. As things progressed and we raised more money and like made more progress, the product grew and all of that stuff, the reality is these were the type of investors who would push back on any increases in salary. And for us now, we were getting into 6 years into entrepreneurship and things like that, but oftentimes our asks for a higher pay were blocked by at least one of the board members, which eventually then resulted in us not taking a good salary. We also really didn't put any milestone based bonuses or stock options in place, so really missed out on a number of things there. Especially as the ownership shifts from primarily owned by the team to primarily owned by investors, it's a good idea to keep these structures in place about the growth of the base salary as well as the bonuses and other things so that when you hit certain milestones, there is agreement ahead of time in place as to where your salary will go.